I know from my Twitter feed that many of you have wondered why I have been off the air for a little while. Well, I have been dealing with a little bit of a health scare. It was like a tightening in my chest when I took deep breaths. That got worse when I was laying flat. I knew enough at that moment to understand that it could mean, could is the key word here, that I was having a heart attack, especially because it was happening in the left part of my shoulder.
Yes, welcome back. I didn't want to do this video, but something triggered me I should do. As you have seen at the beginning, she'll release this video. It's going viral. A lot of people asking questions we have been asking. MSNBC host revealed to her viewers on Saturday that she had been missing for a while because she developed myocarditis and allegedly due to a common cold. I know from my Twitter feed that many of you have wondered why I've been off the air for a little while. I have been dealing with a little bit of health scare, she told her viewers. This is what somebody asked. Glad you are better. But serious question, how many common colds have you had before? Did any lead to myocarditis? Did you do something different in the last 2 years that could have precipitated this condition? Guessing your employees doesn't want you to ask that question. These are very vital questions. A lot of people are asking. I understand how people are feeling. So, on this clip, we are going to take an exclusive look into what is going on exactly. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please endeavor to do that. And if possible, why not share this clip?
I know from my Twitter feed that many of you have wondered why I have been off the air for a little while. Well, I have been dealing with a little bit of a health scare. On December 20th, I began to feel chest pains, and they waxed and waned over a period of 10 days. I wasn't quite sure what to make of it, but as they continued to get worse, I started to think something was actually wrong. It was December 30th when I finally went to an urgent care and was told I had reflux. I didn't really buy it, but I was relieved it wasn't my heart. My body, though, was pretty certain not to believe the reflux. The next day, on December 30th, I woke up with severe pains both in my chest and in my left shoulder, and it was like a tightening in my chest when I took deep breaths. That got worse when I was laying flat. I knew enough at that moment to understand that it could mean, could is the key word here, that I was having a heart attack, especially because it was happening in the left part of my shoulder. I want to remind you, I run 7 miles 3 to 4 times a week, or I did. I do yoga. I don't eat meat. I don't smoke. I drink occasionally. Not right now, though, because my doctor tells me I can't. Aside from probably not getting enough sleep and working too much, I'm a pretty healthy person. But on that day, I was anything but. My husband drove me to the emergency room, and from there, the nightmare that has been my January began. I was diagnosed with pericarditis, inflammation of the lining of my heart, brought on by a virus, a literal common cold. I also had fluid around my heart that had to be drained or else it could hinder the beating of my heart. I was hospitalized for 4 nights and transferred from a local hospital to NYU Langone here in New York City. On January 4th, I was finally discharged after doctors drained the fluid around my heart, and I bounced out of the hospital. I couldn't get out of there fast enough with the hopes I was on the mend. But that was not the end. 3 days later, I was readmitted when I felt a flutter in my heart, like a butterfly. It was inside my chest. They determined I had developed myocarditis, inflammation of the actual heart now, the heart muscle. I remember being shepherded through the emergency room and wondering, is this it? It wasn't, thank God. Instead, I spent 5 more days in the hospital where they ran a battery of tests, adjusted my meds, and made sure nothing else was.
Yes, you have seen this clip. I pray she should get better. We have reached a certain level that a lot of things are not allowed to be asked. You saw a question somebody asked, and at the last paragraph, he made it clear, I know your employees won't allow you to ask this question. You saw how I behave after reading this. It is true, the mainstream media cannot actually address some of these issues. I get speculations online, reading through her comment sections, a lot of people saying, did you take the job? Obviously, you cannot work with the mainstream media if you have not taken. But I'm not sure that is the cause because I'm not a medical doctor to predict this. Only her knows what was disturbing her. But we have seen this same similar situation arising now like never before. Drawing back in 2010, we were not seeing similar situation like what we are seeing today. Footballers, they face the same situation. What could be the problem? Nobody is even answering these questions. I pray situations can get better. Now, there was a clip I did here a few days ago. There was a similar clip I did few days ago where these officers came on social media that she had this similar experience.
With it, obviously, wanting to stay in the Army and not wanting to be kicked out of the Army, I absolutely, I got 2 doses. Yeah, so 2 doses. And, after talking to a couple other people who are still enlisted, and their situation is not my situation, right? But I have been diagnosed.
Yes, I just want to make it clear I'm an outspoken person who sees things differently. When a concerns clip partaking to people's health, I have concern. And it is your privacy partaking to anything happening with you. Reasons I don't put up videos on this channel partaking to this herd, because I don't want to give people the idea that I'm pushing a certain narrative. That is always what I struggle to avoid every single day. I'm always just like a little bit skeptical, when reacting to some kind of topics, especially on this platform. A lot of things are being prohibited that we cannot even discuss. Yeah, there are so many things that you are not allowed to do. So I take maximum precautions, you know, avoiding topics that will cause me, to be outspoken. I don't know how to quote words on videos. Reason I get problems doing some type of videos like this. I'm that kind of person where I like to call A. When I see B, I call it B. I would not like to twist it. That is my personality. Reason I have had challenges, especially on this platform. So most of the videos I bring here, I just like to react on normal videos happening in around you. But I'm thinking to create a Rumble account soon that will permit me to be able to express myself, look at some things very deep.